The EVGA Z87 Classified is now available. This is the highest end Z87 motherboard that EVGA currently offers. This motherboard is designed for socket 1150 CPUs, which include Core i3, Core i5, and Core i7 CPUs from Intel. So let's go ahead and get this box opened and see what we have on the inside. So on top here we have the EVGA manual, tells you everything you need to know about the motherboard. Also have a driver installation disc and an EVGA case badge. Next up we have a visual guide. It's a fold out visual guide that kind of gives you all the information about where things are located on the motherboard, how to get it set up very quickly. We have an I/O shield. We have a few serial ATA cables. Actually we have both 6G and 3G cables. We have a custom I/O cover. This goes right over the I/O cover and makes it look nice. We'll show you that in just a little bit. We have a screw here for the M-SATA/M-PCIe. So if you're using one of those cards, you can use that screw to keep it in place. We also have a few cables for EVGA easy voltage reading. So what you need to do is use a voltmeter or multimeter, plug it directly into those cables. It makes it very simple. And we also have GPU hotlink cables. This allows you to control the voltage on your graphics card from the motherboard BIOS. Of course, we also have your standard SLI bridges. We have 2-way SLI, 3-way SLI, and 4-way SLI bridges are included. Here we have a USB 3.0 dongle, gives you 2 extra USB 3.0 ports, and of course the motherboard itself. And here it is, the EVGA Z87 Classified motherboard. This is actually one of the few motherboards that can support 4-way SLI. There is an additional chipset that gives it more PCI Express lanes that allows it to do this. EVGA also spent a lot of time on the layout of this motherboard. You can see we have a right-angled 24-pin power connector. We have right-angled serial ATA. We have 8 serial ATA 6G ports. We have right-angled USB 3.0 and even right-angled fan headers. The angled connectors don't stop there though. We have a right-angled 6-pin connector on the bottom, additional PCI Express power, and another right-angled fan header. This motherboard also features triple BIOS support. There is a switch here that allows you to select the BIOS that you want to use. There is 3 available. And like some of the other EVGA motherboards, this also has a postcode LED. It shows your postcodes while the system is booting and your CPU temperature when it's in Windows. We also have 4 memory slots that support speeds of 2666 MHz and beyond. Of course, power is also important on any overclocking motherboard. This motherboard has an 8-phase PWM with the cleanest variable power switching available, and dual 8-pin power inputs, which give the CPU up to 600 watts of power. Speaking of power, if you need to power on your motherboard, it's done very easily with these power buttons over here. We got a power button, we have a reset button, and we even have clear CMOS directly on the motherboard. So now let's take a look at the I/O. We have onboard Bluetooth, we have 4 USB 2.0 ports, we have 4 USB 3.0 ports, we have dual Intel Gigabit Ethernet ports, we have dual display ports, another clear CMOS, and we have HD audio provided by Creative Core 3D. That Creative audio processor is located right here. That is the Core 3D quad-core audio processor, which supports all of the creative effects. Earlier we mentioned that I/O cover, and the way that attaches is it just fits right over the I/O area, and you have 2 screws to secure it. It is completely optional and just gives it a nice clean look when it's inside the case. And lastly, and arguably most importantly, the EVGA Z87 Classified ships with EVGA's brand new Gui Bios, which focuses on functionality. And it's really designed for overclocking. In fact, the overclocking tab is the very first tab that you will see in the BIOS. Of course, you can use the mouse and you can scroll the wheel. Everything works exactly how you would expect it to, but you don't have to. If you use it with a keyboard, it works just like a traditional BIOS. EVGA also has a heads-up display, which gives you all the important information about your system right at a glance. You can see your CPU multiplier, you can see your B clock, you can see how many CPU cores are enabled, you can see if hyperthreading is enabled, you can see all your memory vitals, your voltages, your temperatures, and even what your PCI Express bus is running at. So there you have it, the EVGA Z87 Classified motherboard, a motherboard that is truly designed by and for the enthusiast. For more information on this product, please visit the EVGA website at www.evga.com or be a part of our community at forums.evga.com. Thanks again, and we will see you next time.